It's got to go, and I don't think I've worn it much since. Like, I'm picking a team and they didn't make the cut. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today's video, how to build a capsule wardrobe for spring 2021. The key pieces I'm adding this season, the trends that I'm looking out for, and the questions I ask myself when I'm editing down my closet. I tend to do a decluttering and organising of my wardrobe every single season. I find the process therapeutic. It helps me save money because I can clearly see what I do and don't have. And on top of all of that, it really makes getting dressed each morning so much easier. Outfit ideas tend to just pop off a tidy rail, which they definitely don't tend to do from a messy one. Now, I managed to pack so much information into this video that I decided to separate it into two parts. Today, I'll be editing down blouses, shirts, dresses, and trousers, and the rest will be in part 2, so make sure you keep an eye out for that video as well. As always, I love to chat with you all in the comment section below, so do let me know, 1, if you found this video helpful, and 2, if hopefully I've inspired you to give it a go yourself. Before I forget, if you're not already subscribed, it would be lovely if you'd like to do so. And at the end of this video, don't forget to follow the link in the description box below to find my daily outfit ideas over on Instagram. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. How to build a capsule wardrobe for spring 21. So first things first, let's get very messy. So like I've done, get everything out, spring clothes out of storage if you put them away each season, everything out of your drawers and cupboards, all those little hidden places that we like to stuff clothes. Basically, you want everything where you can see it. Please remember that it's my job, obviously, as a fashion blogger to have a certain amount of clothes. I wouldn't say this is normal for most people. And don't worry if you've got, say, a third of this amount of clothes. That's absolutely fine. It's how you style it that counts. I spent my childhood wearing one long procession of hand-me-downs, so I do realise how lucky I am. Now, when I think about how to build a capsule wardrobe for spring 2021, the easiest place to start is to take out the dead wood. Those pieces that you know you're definitely not going to need throughout spring, let alone summer. So for me, that would be lots of chunky knits that I am not going to need. I generally put them in boxes and wrap them in acid-free tissue paper. That seems to keep them nice. I'm quite strict with myself too. If I come across something like this, for example, I haven't worn all season, then that can go in the donate pile. And then I might come across things that are nice quality enough to be able to sell online. I tend to use eBay or Vestiaire Collective if it's a bit more of a designer item. When I've sold something on there, I tend to feel a little bit better about my future purchases. So start to make those 3 different piles. The ones that are going into the attic, the ones that you want to sell, and the ones that you're going to donate. Now, a spring capsule wardrobe, very much like winter, can be as big or as small as you want it to be. But try not to get too hung up on the end number of pieces. While I do ask myself if it ticks a trend box, it also has to tick my other criteria. Do I love it? How many outfits I'm going to make out of it? And if it's surplus to requirements, i.e. I've already ticked that box. Sometimes that gets me to 50 pieces, sometimes it gets me to 70 pieces. So long as I know the pieces I choose are going to get lots of wear and they're versatile, the number of them really isn't important. So now I've put all those heavyweight winter pieces to one side, I'm going to start making my way through this box that came down from the attic and put some of those spring things onto the rail, just so I can start to see what I've actually got and what needs to come out. And straight away I've come to a piece which definitely needs donating or selling. I bought this for a wedding actually about 10 years ago, and I don't think I've worn it much since. I just kept it for nostalgia reasons really, which is not what you're supposed to do. I just thought it was so pretty, which it is. But if it's pretty and you're not wearing it, donate, sell, or keep it in storage. All of these things need a really good iron, but I love the colour of that. Surplus to requirements, as I have a new pair of chinos that I'm wearing, so I don't need those anymore. Now this is where I start to think, what are the key pieces that I want to wear for spring 2021? Not only thinking about what's on trend, because that does always tend to go on in the background, but thinking about what I truly wear. Those pieces that I know, fashion trend or not, I'm going to be reaching for at least on a weekly basis. So for me, that goes something like blue jeans, for sure, t-shirts, pretty blouses, lovely dresses, and some trousers, and maybe the odd coat or two. And I find that's the easiest way to build a capsule wardrobe, is break it down into these smaller chunks. So I've got my light knits, my dresses, my blouses, shirts, jeans, etc. Whatever season, I'd always keep a classic white button-down shirt in my capsule wardrobe. But what I do tend to do is for spring, summer, switch it out for my linen version, and autumn, winter, I go with the cotton. So that one needs a wash, but it's coming in. Okay, that's better. I needed to get my hair out the way. I was getting hot in here. Must be working hard. So on this rail now is everything that could work for spring 2021. But as you can see, there's way too much. So now I'm going to go through each of these categories and select which pieces I will truly wear and put them on the new rail. And as I start to go through these, I find it helpful to just keep in mind all those fashion trends that we'll be seeing for spring, summer 21. Or if, like me, you've got a memory like a sieve, just jot them down on a piece of paper and have it on the floor. I'm not obsessed with trends, but I do like to follow what's going on. And when they suit me, I like to incorporate them into my outfit ideas. So this one, for example, is a new dress that I got recently from H&M, and I'm definitely putting that on the rail. And this is where you really start speeding through your rail, because you can quite quickly see whether you need something or not. And if it's an in-betweener, leave it on the rail for now and come back to it. Right, this, I've had this for years. It looks tatty, it's got to go. So you might notice as I go along, the pieces that I select for spring and the pieces that I think, oh no, I'll save that for summer. A lot of it's to do with the weight of the garment. Obviously a dress like that, I could easily layer a little vest top underneath if I needed, or it would look nice with a cardi over the top. Whereas some of those other dresses are just way too skimpy. They're definitely designed for the beach. I should say as well, I've ordered some new pieces from Suzanne, but I think this video is going to actually go out afterwards. Kind of confusing. So I've got those pieces in mind as well when I'm adding things to my final rail. Oh, I hate these hangers. Sorry, they're emergency hangers. But this is a beautiful dress that I got from Mes Demoiselles Paris, but it's not quite the season just yet. So let's save that for a little bit longer. So like I was saying, it's really helpful to have the trends in mind as you go along, as you're going through your rail, because then it makes the decision a little bit easier if it's something you love anyway, and it happens to be on trend for this spring 2021, then it's quite a safe bet to add it to your final rail. Actually, if you want the full lowdown on all the key trends we'll be seeing for this spring summer 21, I've added a link in the description box below to a dedicated video that I did on this a couple of months ago, so have a look at that after this one. T-shirts, shirts and blouses with a pair of jeans or a nice pair of trousers is kind of my uniform on a day-to-day basis. So I don't mind adding a good selection of those into my capsule wardrobe for spring. I do, however, need to edit this down because it's got a little bit out of hand. Now, as I'm going through blouses and shirts, I keep thinking of all those lovely sorbet tones, which is obviously one of the big fashion trends for spring. I love those tones. I think they're so pretty. Now, this spring is fairly colourful, certainly more than last spring, summer, and actually more than I've got in my wardrobe because I do love my neutral tones. So I can already see a gap in my wardrobe where I could easily add a few more sorbet tones into the mix. But because it's particularly on trend, I don't want it to go out of fashion. So with those sort of pieces, I tend to go for something pretty classic like this. It's very pretty, it is on trend because of the colour, but that isn't going to date. So in 5 years' time, I could still see myself wearing that. So then I keep looking at my selected rail and double checking that all the colours are blending well together. I can already see I've got lots of white, which I know I wear an awful lot throughout spring, summer, but it's also got this nice sprinkle of colours running through it, but not forgetting my love of camel and all those lovely neutral tones, which tend to be the core of my day-to-day outfits. So just keep checking as you're going along, as you're adding pieces, taking them away. Is it all blending as a whole together? Then you'll know you're on the right track when it comes to making outfit ideas. When I build a capsule wardrobe, I find it really helpful to make a list of the gaps as and when I see them. Just as you're going along, looking through all your clothes, just write a little list of those gaps that you think you're missing. And writing a list is not only helpful next time you shop, but it will also save you money. You'll still spot shiny things along the way like we all do, but if it's not on your list, you can be pretty sure it's a lust piece rather than a need piece. Skirts, for example, would be a case in point. I only have 3. Now the reality is I just don't wear skirts very much, hence why you never see them on my channel. However, I would love to find a couple that would mix and match with those lovely tops and blouses I've got on my rail. So I'm going to put them both on the rail for now, but I'm going to make a note to myself that I'm looking for middies and maxi skirts for this spring summer. So this is my kind of lightweight knit section, which I will keep a couple for spring because it's not exactly the warmest country in the world. One piece that's had loads of wear already is this Breton stripe cotton jumper that I got from Suzanne. But as you will have hopefully seen, I love this so much, I bought it in the new coffee colour as well. It's just had so much wear, so it was a great buy for me. I'm definitely going to put that fluffy number on there. As I said before, keep double checking all your tones are working nicely. I mean, this one is standing out like a sore thumb at the moment. It doesn't actually go with anything, but I'll come to it in a minute. I would say it's a statement piece. So a lovely standalone dress. And it's not like I've got that print as a top and it's not going to go with anything. It's a one-piece wonder with a maxi dress. So I think that'll work. So I'm going to go with a camel, of course. No surprises there, and go for the very light grey, which is almost white really. Onto trousers now, and I've been making a conscious effort to wear more trousers instead of jeans of late because I realised I was practically living in jeans. So I wouldn't say it's complete yet, there's definitely a few gaps there, but I'm just going to keep building and building on it over time and if budget allows. Which is the joy of making a capsule wardrobe. None of this is set in stone. Put things to one side to try and clear your mind and get a good grasp of what you've got. But you can always go back to the pile, you can always take something out. Don't panic yourself thinking it's gone forever. It's only donated or sold if you choose to. So anyway, I'm waffling. So yeah, definitely keeping these ones in. And these I had forgotten I'd got. This is a lovely pair of blush cotton trousers I got last summer from Mango. So really affordable. I wore them a lot, and as a happy accident they also tick the sorbet trend box for me for this season, so that's always a bonus. We've gone into baby hangers now, so it's running out of clippy ones. Keeping those in navy. I do get quite sentimental about my clothes and feel quite sad for pieces that aren't being picked. It's like I'm picking a team and they didn't make the cut. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful to see the process that I go through to build a capsule wardrobe. As always, it's lovely to hear from you in the comment section below, and hopefully I've inspired a few of you to give it a go yourself. Don't miss part 2 of this video where I will be taking on the mammoth task of decluttering and organising my jeans, statement pieces, spring coats, jackets, blazers, and not forgetting my shoes and handbags. Thank you so much for watching and happy decluttering everyone. Just remember, it will feel amazing once it's finished, I promise. See you next week.